Good morning everyone. In today's video we are discussed about the Weisser theory. I think you all heard about this theory in your lower classes, but still this is the first topic of your syllabus. Uh, Now are going to discuss about this theory. First of all, let's discuss about the full definition of Weisser. The full name of Weisser is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. We call it with the name Weisser. This theory is developed by Sedgwick and Paul. It states that the bonded atoms in a molecule adopt that particular arrangement in a space so as to avoid the maximum repulsion as well as attain the maximum stability in the space. Now, each theory have some postulates or assumption which we are in order to explain that theory. In the similar manner, Weisser has two. Firstly, the shape of the molecule depend upon the number of valence shell electron pairs around the central atom. First postulate implies that the shape of the particular molecule depend upon the number of valence electrons that surround that central atom. Second postulate is electron pairs in the valence shell tend to repel one another because their electron clouds are negatively charged. Second postulate is explains about that the valence shell electrons tends to repel each other so that they are stay far apart from each other as much as possible in order to attain the maximum stability. The electron pairs tend to occupy that position in a space which minimize their repulsion and state of minimum energy. This is repetition that the electron pairs are surround themselves or disperse themselves in a space in such a manner that they have to occupy the space which have minimum repulsion and maximum stability. Moreover, which leads to ultimate lower energy of that particular molecule. The repulsion orders, if the particular molecule we are discussed only consists of bond pairs, then there are only bond pair repulsion which are the deciding factor in order to decide the angle. However, if one of the lone pair is get introduced in that molecule, then there is introduction of lone pair bond pair repulsion as well as bond pair repulsion. These two factors are the deciding factors of the bond angle, and if there is more than one lone pair is present in that molecule, then the three kind of forces, that is lone pair lone pair, lone pair and bond pair are the deciding factors. So the repulsive forces decreases sharply with the increase in angle between electron pairs. What does it say? As long as you are going to increase the angle, the molecule feel maximum stability due to minimum electron repulsion. So if we have to compare the two angles, suppose the one molecule having bond angle between 90 degree and another have 120 degree, then the maximum repulsion faced in 90 degree angle and the minimum repulsion faced at 120 degree, even more weakest at 180 degree angle. These all are the postulate of Weisser theory. Now we have to know about in order to explain the Weisser of each molecule, we have to first know about the hybridization, because hybridization is considered as a factor in Weisser theory. So we have to first brief knowledge about the hybridization. As you all heard about the hybridization, so I'm not discussed this in very much detail. I'm just give a quick review about this topic. That is, firstly, if we discuss about the definition, the process of intermixing of slightly different energy orbital so as to give the equivalent number of set of hybrid orbitals of similar energy. What does it say? That whether you are consider the orbitals which those set of orbitals are called hybrid orbitals or undergo hybridization which have very less energy gap in between them. Like as if you consider that you are going to create a hybrid orbital of 1s and 3s, that is not possible. If you want to consider the hybridized orbital of 3s, 3p or 3d, that is possible. That means if the energy gap between the orbitals you are going to consider is less, then only then they are able to get undergo the process of hybridization. Otherwise hybridization is not possible if you are consider those orbital which have higher energy gap. For example, for the instance, S and P undergo hybridization in order to give the sp hybrid orbitals. After getting the process of hybridization, each orbital have same energy levels. So you get a set of equivalent energy levels, like as in whenever you mix the two atomic orbitals in order to get the two set of molecular orbitals of having similar behavior. So there is no difference between, after undergo hybridization you can't able to distinguish between S and P, because this sp hybrid orbitals have both the characteristics of S as well as p orbital. So whenever you decided to form a Weisser of any molecule, you have to first arrange your central atom as in a set of, convert into a set of hybrid orbitals. Only then surrounding atom will able to attach with that molecule. Otherwise if you are not undergo the process of hybridization, what is going to be happen around that? For example, if I am making the molecule of PCl5, if I deny to accept the theory of hybridization, then what will be happen? As we know that PCl5 have hybridization of sp3d. That means if PCl5 does not undergo process of hybridization before giving a geometry of the molecule, then what will be the look like? One Cl form bond with the s orbital of phosphorus, 3 chlorine form bond with the 3 p orbital of phosphorus, and 1 form bond with the d orbital of chlorine. In this manner the different orbitals have different bond lengths. So as we already know that in Weisser theory, whenever we decide the hybridization of that particular molecule, that molecule have no change in their bond lengths as well as bond angle. So in order to get that kind of equality in that structure, we have to first perform the phenomena of hybridization for each molecule. That's why I am discussed hybridization before commencing any kind of molecule discussion. Next is, if you are intermix the 3 atomic orbitals, then you get a 3 hybrid set of orbitals. Like as I am just to memorize you in the set of form of table. If you have molecule of AB2 type, that means in order to distinguish between central and surrounding atom clearly, I give two different notation. Otherwise there is no any kind of such kind of problem. You consider the molecule ABC type. That means it is quite difficult to find out the central atom in such kind of arrangement. So that's why in order to get the easy access to these kind of molecule, I consider these kind of prefer these kind of notation AB2 type. That means A is central atom and B are the surrounding atoms. So hybridization is sp. If you are increasing the surrounding atom, hybridization got increases, that is sp2. For AB4 type, sp3 or dsp2. If the hybridization is sp3, then it will be have tetrahedral geometry. If the hybridization is dsp2, then there will be a square planar geometry. In the same manner, I discussed the bond angle here, that if the hybridization is sp geometry is linear and the bond angle is 180 degree. If the sp2 hybridization geometry name is trigonal planar, a bond angle is 120 degree with each the bond. The AB4 type tetrahedral and square planar, if the geometry is tetrahedral, the then bond angle will be 109.5. If the DSP2 type, that is square planar and the bond angle is 90 degree. Although there may be some kind of dilemma in these kind of structures, that although square planar have each angle is 90 degree, then how it will be a stable then tetrahedral arrangement. But in square planar geometry, if we study about the group theory in later on session, you are able to find out that this molecule has more symmetry than tetrahedral. So AB5, they it's have own stability. So there is no discrepancies, doubt between bond angle related to bond angles. Now, if the type of molecule is AB5, then the hybridization is sp3d and the geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. There are difference between two angles. We discuss this hybridization or this type of molecule later on. The bond angle of equatorial position is 120 degree and the axial position have 90 degree. AB6, sp3d2 and the geometry is octahedral. Each angle will be 90 degree. In the AB7 molecule, the sp3d3, the pentagonal bipyramidal, the bond angles between equatorial position are 72 degree, while the axial position this time has 90 degree. So if we compare these two angles with each other, the maximum repulsion will be face at 90 degree angle and the minimum will be at 120 degree. However, if we compare these two positions, we are able to find out that in this geometry, the axial position is more stable than the equatorial position. Now, before starting the Weissenberg molecules, this is really a note. You have to remember this. In order to decide the central atom, what factors you have to consider. That is, firstly, you have to see whatever be the formula given to you in the exams. That is, for example, in order to explain the concept, I could take one example of POCl3. Now, look at this. The central atom should be lesser in number. So, in order to decide what is the central atom, we have to, first factor is that element is lesser in number. So, now from the first point we are able to know that chlorine is not a central atom. Now next is there is a doubt between phosphorus and oxygen. Now the second factor is central atom should be larger in size. That means out of those elements you are left with, if those elements which have larger in size are act as a central atom. So out of phosphorus and oxygen whose have largest size, that is phosphorus. So phosphorus act as a central atom in the molecule of POCl3. In this manner you have to decide the central atom for each example. Now we have to apply Weissenberg theory on three types of molecules. Firstly, we have to in the first section or in this video, I am going to discuss about only those kind of molecules which have only bond pairs with them. So in this video, we are focused more about the bond pairs type of molecules. If in the later on videos, we are discussed about the geometry of molecules whose have bond pairs as well as lone pairs in them. And in the third type of molecule, we are discuss those kind of molecules which have bond pairs, lone pairs, along with them they have ions too. So in this video we are discuss only this kind of molecules. First example is the geometry of molecule contain only bond pair of electron is beryllium fluoride. So what you have to do in this section, you have to first find out the central atom. Now look at the conditions which I in order to recall that condition, what we decided that central atom is that molecule which is lesser in number. So out of beryllium and fluorine, beryllium is lesser in number, so beryllium will be act as a central atom. But if suppose there are another atoms available here, so we have to deciding according to that manner. So firstly, electronic configuration of beryllium is 1s2 2s2. Now in maybe in the later on sections I am write down over only the outermost configuration. So you have to focus about the outermost configuration only in order to explain the geometry. Then the electronic configuration of surrounded atom is, that is fluorine, is 1s2 2s2 2p5. We have write down this electronic configuration, but we consider only a outermost shell of that surrounded atom, because we are not able to undergo hybridization of surrounding atom. We are much more aligned towards the central atom. Firstly, what we have to do is we have to write down the ground state configuration of beryllium atom: 1s 2s2 1s2 2s2. Now we have to write down the excited state of beryllium. If the excited state, now look at here, if you whether you need excitation or not, you have to check the ground state configuration. Here in the 2s orbital, both the electrons are pair up, so there is no chance of fluorine to come and bond with the beryllium atom. So we have to unpair the beryllium atom's outermost shell electron. Here in the diagram, you have no need to mention the 1s electronic configuration, because this is not the part of hybridization, as we have to consider only outermost shell. So you have to skip that. 2s to 2p3 टाइप 2s और 2p शेल ड्रॉ करोगे, तो इसमें क्या है, एक्साइटेड स्टेट कन्फिग्रेशन में क्या करोगे, अभी दोनों इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या है, पेयर अप हैं. दैट मीन्स इन ऑर्डर टू मेक द बॉन्ड्स ऑफ फ्लोरीन यू हैव टू एक्साइट दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. सो इनको अनपेयर करने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, एनर्जी अप्लाई करेंगे. तो वो एनर्जी जो हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं वो इतनी सफिशेंट होगी टू ओवरकम. जैसे ही हमारा बेरिलियम फ्लोराइड का मॉलिक्यूल बॉन्ड होगा, तो वो इतना एनर्जी रिलीज़ करेगा कि वो उस एनर्जी को क्या कर जाएगा, ओवरकम कर जाएगा. दैट मीन्स ये हमारे लिए फ्रूटफुल है कि हमें एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करना पड़े और इसे अनपेयर करना पड़े इन ऑर्डर टू मेक सम बॉन्ड्स. तो इसमें क्या है, बेरिलियम फ्लोराइड हाइब्रिडाइजेशन क्या हो गई, sp. दैट मीन्स मॉलिक्यूल क्या है, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन के अकॉर्डिंग लीनियर. तो हमारे पास बॉन्ड एंगल क्या होगा, 180 डिग्री. दैट आई ऑल हैव मेंशन हियर इन द लैंग्वेज 2. एज वी सी देयर आर two paired electrons in the ground state of beryllium. So in order to make the bond with the surrounding atom of electron of beryllium atom must be excited. So in order to form the bond with fluorine, we have to excite the electron of 2s orbital into 2p orbital. So hence, in order to minimize the repulsion between these two electron pairs, they are arranged themselves as far as apart possible at 180 degree. Hence the geometry of the molecule is linear. So another factor is you have to note about that when only bond pairs are involved in your molecule, then geometry and the shape will be same thing. If the lone pair is involved in the molecule, then geometry and shape will be a different thing, because geometry is decided with the help of hybridization. However, shape is decided by the bond pairs only. So whenever the only bond pairs are involved in your molecule, then geometry and shape will be the same. So in order to create some confusion in them, so you have to focus whenever you are looking towards the bond pairs or lone pairs. If lone pair is present in your molecule, then geometry and shape will be a different thing. Next molecule of our discussion is BF3. Again, you have to write the electronic configuration of central atom. So in order to find the central atom, again you have to recall that points who have lesser in number and larger in size. Lesser in number, that is boron. Out of boron and fluorine, lesser in number boron, that means it acts as a central atom. So you have to mention the outer electronic configuration of boron, that is 2s2 2p1. Similar manner, I have mentioned the electronic configuration of fluorine too, but don't need that. Ground state of boron is 2s2 2p1. So now let's check. There is one unpaired electron, so one fluorine atom will be able to form bond easily with that boron atom. But in order to make the bonds between 3 fluorine atoms and boron, so you have to excite the electron of 2s orbital into 2p. So the hybridization become sp2 type, And the sp2 type means geometry is trigonal planar and the bond angle will be 120 degree, as I mentioned in the explanation as well. As in the excited state of boron, which has 3 unpaired electrons, so on the other hand fluorine atom has 1 unpaired electron. In order to complete its octet, so it readily form bond with the boron atom and you got the structure of trigonal planar. To pair up with the sp2 hybridized orbital in order to get the trigonal planar geometry. The next molecule is CH4. Again you have to find the central atom. There is no doubt between in order to decide the central atom here. There is a carbon. So 2s2 2p2. Ground state configuration is 2s2 2p2. Now look at here whether you need a excitation or not. So here 2 unpaired electron, that means 2 hydrogen atom are able to form bond with that the carbon atom. However, other 2 remain as such. So in order to make the all the 4 bonds, you have to excite the electrons of 2s orbital into 2p orbital. Once the electron got excited, they get the undergo hybridization, and their set of hybridization is sp3, and the molecule become tetrahedral with a bond angle of 109.5 in a space. As I mentioned in the explanation as well, as in the excited state of carbon atom has 4 unpaired electrons, on the other hand hydrogen atom has only 1 unpaired electron in order to get the configuration of noble gas. So they are get easily pair up with the carbon atom with the hybridization of sp3 and get the geometry of tetrahedral. Now next is PF5 molecule. Again you have to decide the central atom first, the ground state configuration of phosphorus atom. So the configuration is 3s2 3p3. Again phosphorus act as fluorine act as a surrounding atom. So electronic configuration 2s2 2p5. Now you have to mention the orbitals of phosphorus atom. Ground state of phosphorus atom is 3s2 3p3. Now look at here, 3 unpaired electrons will be present, so only 3 fluorine are able to form bond with the phosphorus atom. So in order to make the bond of other 2, you have to excite the electrons of 3s into 3d subshell. Now the hybridization become sp3d type, in which sp3 type 5 fluorine bonds are formed. Now again there is some discussion about this structure, that the equatorial bond angle is 120 degree and while the axial bond angle is 90 degree. Next is SF6 molecule. In this molecule too, sulfur act as a central atom having electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. You have to mention the ground state electronic configuration of into form of orbitals 3s2 3p4. Now look at here, that 2 unpaired electrons are present in the sulfur atom, so only 2 fluorine will be accommodated over here. So in order to make the other 4 fluorine bonds, so you have to excite both the electrons of 3s orbital as well as 3p orbital into 3d orbital. So the electronic configuration or the hybridization become sp3d2 type. The geometry is octahedral. Each bond angle will be 90 degree. Now in order to make the bond with the surrounding atoms of 3s and 3p, electrons are excited to 3d orbital. So SF6 have octahedral geometry. Now the last molecule of our discussion is the IF7. Electronic configuration of iodine, because iodine acts as a central atom. So the outer electronic configuration is 5s2 5p5. The ground state configuration of iodine atom is 5s2 5p5 type. The ground excited state, now there is only 1 unpaired electron, so only 1 fluorine is able to form bond with the iodine atom. So you have to form other 6 bonds, so you have to excite the electrons of 5s as well as 5p orbital into 5d orbitals. So in this manner you got the hybridization of sp3d3 type. In sp3d3 type, the 5 fluorine atoms are arranged as in the form of regular pentagon, and then 2 remaining fluorine atoms are present in the form of axial. Here the equatorial are less stable. The atoms which are present at the equatorial position feeling more repulsion rather than atoms present in the axial position. So the geometry's name is pentagonal bipyramidal. The five of these five fluorine atoms are directed towards the vertices of regular pentagon, having a form the bond angle of 72 degree, while the another one form angle of 90 degree to the plane of set of five orbitals, and the geometry name is pentagonal bipyramidal. And sp3d3. This is all about this topic. In later on videos we are discussed about some more examples related to Weisshapper theory that constitute lone pair as well as bond pair, and some ions too. That's all about this topic. Thank you so much.